Hi everyone, Lee here, aka Leemo 57. I hope you're safe and I hope you're well. Just a quick message to remember that your mental health matters, your mind matters, and if you are struggling, please reach out. It is okay not to be okay. You can get in touch with me personally via Discord, via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of the social media platforms, and you can also find the charity that I'm a director for, which is Evolving Mindset, and you can go to www.evolvingmindset.co.uk and you can see the support that we offer there as well. We offer free online advice, support, education and guidance, so please remember you're not on your own. You're not on your own in this community. Remember, mental health matters and your mind matters. Please get in touch and don't suffer in silence.
Hello everyone, welcome along to another episode of Football Manager Therapy. I'm your host, Tony Jameson, and joining me as always is, of course, the one and only Rich Owens. Rich, how are you, buddy?
I am very well, thank you, mate. Very well indeed. Really looking forward to getting started on this week's episode. It's going to be a really interesting and I think really important conversation.
Oh, absolutely. And to be fair, you've sort of already touching upon it a little bit. It is a special episode. As loyal listeners will know, of course, to the podcast, you'll know that mental health is very, very important to us over here at Football Manager Therapy. And joining us today is our wonderful guest, Leemo, who is not only a fantastic member of the FM community, but also a mental health professional. In fact, Leemo, you've just been promoted. You've just got the big job.
Yeah.
Let me know how do we what's your official job title now?
Well, from the 1st of June, it'll be director of Evolving Mindset, which is the charity I'm involved in.
Excellent. Look at that. We've got him just as he's into the big hot seat. And I apologize for saying, can you tell me your job? Because that makes it sound like I've not done my research. But like I said,
it was only announced yesterday. I'll let you off.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, when we planned this, you had a different job, and now you've got the job. So we wanted to give you the intro that you deserve. But mate, no, like I said, it's genuinely an absolute honor to have you on. We've wanted to get you on for a while, and because of the fact that it is Mental Health Awareness Week in the UK, we thought, right, what better time to do that? Yeah. As I say, we're very, very open about our mental health here on the podcast. Of course, as part of our Discord, as you know, we have a mental health sort of channel in there as well, which is very active, and we're really proud of the fact that we have that in there, and that if anyone is struggling, then they can sort of reach out, and it's great to see people instantly responding, people we've never met before. Yeah. Offering a word of advice to someone in a similar situation. So I suppose realistically what we'll do is if we sort of get to you first of all, then do we talk about Evolving Mindset first, or should we talk about Leemo first? We'll talk about Leemo first. What got you into all this? What was the sort of the drive to work in mental health?
It stems back really probably to my mum. My mum always kind of worked in care. My dad was a mechanic. That traditional sort of the son follows his father kind of didn't happen with me. My mum and dad split when I was very young, so my mum and my nan were kind of my sort of role models, if you like. So it kind of, I always had that care in nature, I suppose. And when I left school, I tried different jobs. Your typical. I worked down the docks in Liverpool docks when I left school, and worked in various warehouses and had bar jobs, and nothing that really I got any enjoyment out of or real satisfaction. It was basically just some money in my pocket, and that was me beer money for the weekend, and I was skint all week, and good job I lived at home. But and then I met my wife, Suzanne, when I was 19, and she kind of pushed me into like a social sort of support worker role, which I'd done for a number of years. And then I had the opportunity to go to university at the age of 27 to go and do my mental health nursing, which I took with both hands. And I haven't looked back since. 4 years of training, and then kind of topped up at Preston Uni to do psychosocial interventions as well. And then I've done various roles within the NHS. I've worked in forensic settings, where it's like people with mental health conditions or concerns have maybe committed a crime, or have been in prison and haven't quite been able to cope mentally with that environment. So they would be more suited to what you call a secure hospital environment. And then the last few years, I've been kind of involved with Evolving Mindset, which is a CIC, which is a community interest company with two brothers. They're the co-founders, Phil and Andy Noon. Andrew's a mental health nurse similar to myself, and Phil's sort of qualifications is in training. So he's a qualified trainer coach, which we all are now, so that we can deliver these sessions. So yeah, that started in like 2019, and then obviously we've done so well where I'm in a position now where I've been able to come out. I was given the director's role officially back in August last year, but I'm now in a position where I can come out of my own job and come and work for Evolving Mindset full time, which is absolutely amazing for me.
Yeah, no, it is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's, and especially as well, like what we noticed, and like sort of Evolving Mindset sort of came to our attention. It's funny you mentioned also that 2019, and I guess that's when a lot of people maybe became aware of their own mental health issues, I guess, around the start of the pandemic. And obviously seeing yourself posting with regards to Evolving Mindset, and it was fantastic. It sort of switched us on to the work that you guys do, and particularly that you were what we really loved was that you had open sort of dial-ins and workshops and drop-ins, wasn't it? And because obviously everything was remote, it was great to see a charity like Evolving Mindset do that. Like how much pickup did you get from that? Like, was it like a noticeably increased number, or was it?
Yeah, it was huge, because when we first started, we designed like a bespoke program which consisted of 10 sessions at first, and we condensed it down. And I remember delivering the first session in a community setting. There was about 8 to 9 people there, and it was like, oh, this is cool. And then COVID, kind of, as you know, come the pandemic, and it was lockdown, and we had a choice. We could either shut up shop and restart again when everything went back to normal as such. But we sat down as a board, if you like, and said, what can we do? How can we still support people? How can we still reach out? So I said, well, let's do some videos. You know, I just kind of started getting into watching, you know, YouTube and Twitch around the same time. And so I said, you know, let's do some videos. Let's do some hints and tips, and let's do some stress videos, some anxiety videos. Let's put them on Facebook. And we done that, and the reaction we got was amazing. You know, on the different platforms that we used, and then we sat down and we said, look, we can do better than this. People are at home. People are stuck in. People are isolated. People are lonely. People are split from their partners, their families. You know, at first it was just horrendous, you know, what people had to cope with. So we decided that we would put on a bespoke sort of 6-week program, which would be 2-hour sessions, which looked at mental health awareness, mindset and goal setting, stress and anxiety management, low self-esteem, building resilience and mindfulness, and then positive habits as well, and some physical health stuff in there. And they just took off. We were getting 20, 30, 40 people coming onto the sessions. We were running, you know, multiple nights, because we were originally looking at Wednesday evenings, and we were running them Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Sunday evenings. The demand for them was amazing, you know, and clearly people needed the support. And all we wanted to do, we set this charity up to help and support people, and that's all we wanted to do, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, like an absolutely fantastic charity as well. And to see people take up the help that was offered. I mean, like Rich, I mean, how, again, I suppose we've sort of spoken, myself and Matt, when Matt did the podcast, we spoke very openly about how we found certain parts of the pandemic, and obviously our mental health just in general. We've spoken about the 5-Star Potential did some lockdown sessions as well. They were very open about how they were finding lockdown. Like Rich, I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, personally for me, I think lockdown 1 I found easier than lockdown 2. And I don't know whether that was the psychological thing of well, it's sunny outside, lockdown 1,
Yeah.
lockdown 2, it's like, it's grey, it's dreary, it's miserable, and we're back again. Like, I don't know whether that's how I felt, how I found it. Like, Rich, what was your sort of experience of that?
I think mine was actually the other way around. I found lockdown 1 a lot more difficult than I found it second time around. So I I struggle quite a lot, or have struggled in the past quite a lot, with like major changes to routine. So obviously going into lockdown the first time around was everything changed. It was just life, and it wasn't just certain aspects; it was everything. And I think I struggled with that a lot. It was really, really difficult period of change in terms of my own mental health. I think that was when I started kind of I looked to get a bit of additional support, started taking kind of like medication to like help with that kind of thing, that like antidepressants, that kind of thing. By the time second lockdown came around, it was more familiar, and it's kind of like we've done this before, and I think at that point, in terms of my own mental health anyway, I think I was in a much better place second time around. So it wasn't as bad. It's so for me, definitely very different experience to yourself. I think we probably had the same experiences, just inverted. I think plus by lockdown 2 as well, I think there was a lot of different things out there that are people kind of leaning on. I myself, and I've talked about this. I've talked about it in streams before. I've talked about it kind of on socials before. Like this podcast, obviously, before I was a part of it, was enormously beneficial in kind of maintaining and helping my mental health, because it was just the opportunity. It was just listening to two lads having a nice chat about something that the group of people have a shared interest in. Hugely beneficial. I know there's a lot of other people kind of in the community that have feel the same way. But for myself, it was a lot harder first time around.
Yeah, I mean, as we've said for so many times now, this is called Football Manager Therapy for an absolute reason. Like we picked that title very, very deliberately when we were started lockdown 1. For me, like I say, I thought the lockdown 1 was easier because I don't know. It felt a bit easier because I guess the kids were a bit younger. Like our youngest was only a matter of months old, really. He was premature anyway, so he would have been still like a matter of months old. So he was still sleeping a little bit. So obviously working during the day, I could get some stuff done, and he'd go to sleep, and then we had like the other young'un who was sort of running around. We got to see him a little bit more than we maybe would have done. So in that sense, maybe my mental health at that time was going, oh, this is, I get to see my little ones grow up that I wouldn't get to do. Like, wife was on maternity leave. So I was like, well, actually, I'm going to look for the positives here and sort of take this out of it and go, right, the idea is we're only doing this for a few months. Let's get it sorted. Let's have a lovely time. And for me, it was when it went round to the second lockdown, I was like, well, hang on. My youngest is now going to be 1. Like, he's not known anything outside of lockdown pretty much, like in his life. My eldest was sort of, he was struggling again with familiarity. He's sort of like going, well, why can't I go back to nursery? And now I can't go back to nursery, and now we can't go back out again. He was finding that tricky. I was finding working from home was becoming a bit more difficult because the kids are now older. There's another year, so those where the youngest would go to sleep all day, he's not going to sleep all day anymore now. He's up and about, he's crying, he's there's those issues and stresses and that there, and that was a bit more difficult for me. And like I said, the idea that you then couldn't get out for your walks, my fitness was slipping. I used to pride myself on the fitness I would do. My eating was good. Whereas, of course, by the time we hit the second lockdown, I'm working out less, I'm eating a bit worse, I'm not sleeping as well, probably drinking a bit more. I fell into that trap, and for me, this community that we had here, not just Football Manager, not just Football Manager Therapy, but the Football Manager community was what was keeping me going at that point. Absolutely. Like, everyone was in the same boat, and it was that point I felt more people were reaching out. And Miles was very open about being sort of pro mental health, and he sort of said, look, people are using this game to get over this, and that's when I was like, we have to really be at the forefront of, because I think that was about the time we made the Discord, was like sort of, or it really took a steep curve up, was that second lockdown where we all went, look, cards on the table, this is how I feel, right? And for guys out, and it's so stereotypical, Leemo, you'll probably back me up on this, but for men particularly, our age, to say, I am struggling and this is how I feel, that's the hardest thing, right?
Definitely. I mean, you're spot on. And I think when I first kind of found this community, if you like, Twitch and stuff, it was a group of lads I'd kind of made friends with who I played FIFA with, and obviously Football Manager as well, you know, was a big part of that. And they created the Discord, they found out what I'd done. So it was about 3 to 6 months I kind of started to get to know other people in the wider community, if you like, and people started to recognise my name, and people started to recognise that, oh, there's Leemo, he's the mental health nurse, you know. So early days, I had a lot of people reach out, you know, through DMs, through whispers and stuff, and you know, it was kind of getting bigger, and then I started to utilise the fact that we had evolving mindset, and I thought to myself, you know what, we can create a different platform here for people to reach out to. You know, we are some of the oldest members of this community, me and you, Toe, and I think you know, it's but it's good in the sense of, you know, so many people who you see, and it's tough. Just you hear a lot of people, you know, they write it on Twitter and they say, I just can't hit that go live button. I'm taking a break. I'm stressed. I'm anxious. I'm struggling. You know, and you don't realise the context and the amount of people. And when I got into this Twitch world, I realised there's a lot more people, not just in the FM community, but it was other communities I was getting to know people from, where people were struggling, people were reaching out. So they created like a section in their Discord for me, and it was just, like you said, similar to yours, it was just bouncing. And then all of a sudden, I found myself kind of on the other side of the camera. Then I was like, I had my own Twitch channel. I started streaming, and I think I kind of, well, it's 2 years this July, funny enough. I remember two years ago in August, I'd done like a 24-hour charity stream, and that's when my channel kind of exploded. People started to get to know who I was as me, as Leemo, and as Lee, and people got to know Lee as the mental health nurse as well. And I got a Discord going, and quite quickly the channel just blew up, like, because obviously it was the timing with the lockdown, with pandemic. People were at home more, people were up a lot later at night, and it kind of started off as like a fun community, late night with Leemo and a few beers, just having a laugh, having a party, playing Football Manager, and just all I wanted was for people to come in the stream and just go out with a smile on their face, but also get support where they could, and ask for advice and ask for guidance, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I still do now. And then I started streaming some of the sessions on Twitch as well. You know, so I kind of condensed the 2-hour one down into like an hour segment, and just split the stress and anxiety one up, and just offered something different to this community. And then I introduced a ticket program now in my Discord, where it's just a lot more safe, it's a lot more confidential. So yeah, we have the mental health section. People can express, you know, how they're feeling and reach out within that. But if anyone wants to have a private, confidential sort of conversation, they can open a ticket in the Discord, and you know, I'm on the end of that ticket. And you know, like I said, I've been doing this for 3 years voluntary, and I've absolutely loved it. And you know, it's got me involved in bigger Discords, you know, with other communities, like the Grand Theft Auto roleplay community, where I'm in a Discord they've got 5,000 people in, and I think I'm on ticket 200 at the moment, which is, it just shows the amount of people, and that's just without people DMing me. That's just without Twitter, without Facebook. I love doing it. You know, don't get me wrong, I love doing it, but it's just to make people understand the amount of people that are reaching out, and I want more people to be aware of evolving mindset, aware of who we are. We're not just a Northwest Liverpool-based charity. We're online. We're helping people. You know, we've had people from Belgium, America. You know, we've had people from Croatia. We've had people from Australia on the Zoom session. So it's open for everyone. And a big thing is that it's free. No one has to pay for this support, and I always want to keep it that way as well. You know, don't want anyone having to pay for for support that I can give them, knowledge that I can give them, any support, any guidance, you know.
I think that's the thing, man. That to be honest is incredible. The fact that you have made it free, and we know ourselves, and obviously we've got listeners from around the world, you know, like yourself, like who will be listening to this. So go free healthcare, like what? I mean, yeah, like we take that for granted, I guess, a little bit over here in the UK, but the mental health services, again, I mean, like, you know, we've had people saying, you know, there's a mental health pandemic off the back of the pandemic, but my answer to that has always been there's always been a mental health pandemic. We just never really addressed it. Like the pandemic brought it to the front, and people were able to accept that, yeah, you know what, this is like, we are struggling a bit, and I think to be able to offer that space at the time, and being really sort of like proactive in terms of how to use that space as well, like not just sitting going, oh, you know, here's like our Twitter account, come and tweet us. You were looking at things like Zoom, like Twitch, like getting into the spaces where people were spending a lot of time. And for me, when I got into Twitch, that was not realizing that people were going through the same things that we were, and we were just talking, and like, you know, that's what I prefer. This is why I prefer Twitch to YouTube, that you're connecting with people there and then. And, you know, you'll go live and you'll be like, look, to be honest, like, you know, I'm not having a great day. Like, or someone will come in, they'll be like, oh, I'm not feeling so great. I know some streamers will say, oh, don't come in, like, sort of say you're not feeling so great. It kind of kills my vibe. Like, if anything, us three and pretty much most of the people that we know and we hang out with are all, right, well, what can we do to make that better?
Definitely.
Like, you know, and that was great. Like the people, I love the fact that someone feels comfortable enough in my stream to say they're not feeling it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that for me suggests that I've created a vibe that goes, if I say this, he's not gonna, like, it's not gonna throw anyone off, right? And everyone seems to be really nice and chill. So I'm gonna say, like, look, I'm struggling a bit here. Like, Rich, I mean, how have you found that side of the community itself? And so even yourself, like when you stream, like, I do feel as though you can be fully open and be yourself.
Oh, absolutely. There's no point in pretending anything else, really, is there? You know, it's very much like yourselves. I think when I'm streaming, I'd like to think that the environment that I've created and what I'm trying to cultivate in terms of my audience is that I want people to be able to be open and be honest, because you know, I've always done my very best to be open and honest with people about things like mental health, about about other aspects of just general kind of mental well-being. And if somebody's having a bit of a struggle and that they're in the chat in one of my streams, if they're in the Discord, the fact that, as Tony said, I would encourage people to reach out, because even if it's something that I'm, you know, is, you know, beyond my remit and beyond my understanding, I can't help, you know, through things like evolving mindsets, through things like, you know, just being educated by the community. I have an educated guess as to where to point somebody to get, you know, a start getting the support they need, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm very, 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 very much, you know, it's absolutely okay to not be okay. And I think, you know, the platforms that we run and I think the content that we create and the environment we create within that, hopefully will encourage somebody who might struggle otherwise to say something. You know, it's the right platform and it's the right environment to be doing it, because I don't think there's anybody that would even be watching our content in any of our streams, any of our chats, that if somebody spoke up like that I don't think there's anybody that would look down on them or not want to help. And that's just part of the beauty of things like the FM community. It's such a supportive place. It's such a wonderful place, you know. So it's can't speak highly enough of it.
Definitely, it was finding that niche, and I think, you know, when I kind of come on the scene, there was no one out there who'd done FM, who was a mental health nurse, who had a charity, who was wanting to help people, and I just thought, wow, why hasn't this happened before? And I think, you know, the beauty of it as well is, like you say, people can sometimes be more comfortable in reaching out, because especially with Zoom or Twitch, they're in their home environment, they're in an environment where they're already comfortable and they already feel safe. And then reaching out, then whether it's their real name or whether it's an alias, it doesn't matter.
Which again also helps, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That, you know, people use that as a protective factor, which is fine. And you know, the main point for me is, no matter how you reach out, it's getting that support, getting that right support. And I think for me as well, one of our proudest moments in regards to link and evolve a mindset with Football Manager is, I've been streaming it for a while, and I just reached out to SI Games. I seen a tweet from Miles. I know Tony made reference to that earlier on. And I got talking to one of the guys behind the scenes called Sam, who was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. He emailed me late at night after he'd finished work, because that was the only time really I had spare time, because I had a full-time day job, and then I'd done, the EM stuff overnight. And I said, look, I wanna help. I want to help as much as I can. What can Football Manager do? What can SI Games do? And he said, look, send us this, send us that, and we'll put your ad boards in the game. And I was like, what? Like, my ad boards in a game I've been playing for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. So I got someone's done the graphics for me. I got a scrolling one for the 3D ad boards in the game, and next minute FM19, boom, there's the EM ad boards after the January update. And I just, at the first time I seen it on Steam, I went mental. I was like, wow, it's there. I was like, clip it. I just went nuts, because it was like, oh my God. And the beauty of it as well is you click on that ad board and it takes you direct to our website.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is they've kept it in FM21. They've kept them in FM22 as well. And, it looks amazing. The blue, Evolve a Mindset going around the pitch. A lot of friends I've got in the community who've got where you tick on the options like relevant ads or whatever come up. A lot of people, some content creators as well, they'll send me little screenshots. Look what come up today, and there's Evolve a Mindset in their save. And it's amazing to see. And it does get in that little bit of promotion, if you like, little bit of recognition. Because ultimately, it's not about me. This was never about me. I have a lot of fun on streams, and I've met some amazing people in this community, Tony being one of them. And, more recently, we've got a lot closer through doing different projects together and spending a lot more time together, whether it's in his stream, my stream, whether it's doing a draft tournament. And you really get to know the person behind the sort of the streaming. But a lot of people are exactly who they are. I watch Tony on stream, and it's the same Tony I speak to in a Discord call or on a podcast, and that's what I find, that rawity, that honesty is amazing, especially like you said, when you want people to reach out to you, when you want people to trust you. That's what it's about for me, is being a member of this community, that people will go, do you know what, I trust him, I want to reach out. And the added bonus is that I am a mental health nurse and I run a mental health charity. So there's a lot of support that I can offer. And again, like I said, it's free as well. And, it's so key. And people are always put off, they want to visit the GP, like you said before. And I want to create that sort of middle ground in the sense of, you don't always have to go run to your GP to get yourself some tablets. You can come to us and talk to us first, and let's see if we can work with you and help you. Some people need medication. It is what it is. But I think ultimately it's about making sure people have got that platform where they can reach out and get that support that they need. And when Football Manager done that, especially in this community, it was amazing.
No, absolutely. And the thing is, like you say, we're saying there about Miles. That Miles is absolutely bang on. He's so pro charity. He's definitely, like, anything he can do to promote good causes, they're all about that at SI. And and the second you said, oh, our ad boards in the game, was like, of course they're in the game. Like, why wouldn't they be in the game? Like I guess for us, like, we're sort of like a little bit of a step back, going, well, obviously. And you're like, but no, but they're in the game. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, like it's great. I mean, we've done sort of bits and pieces. Like I always have the talk shirt behind me, as well in the stream. Like, and that's just something that we picked up during like looking at on Twitter when the Suicide Prevention Agency for Scotland started going, oh, we've made these shirts, and I was like, well, I didn't have football shirts behind me in the background. I was like, I don't really want to do that sort of thing, but we've moved rooms for streaming, and I thought, well, I need to have some sort of background. So I thought, rather than just put in just generic shirts, I was like, I'd rather have a constant message.
Yeah.
to promote. So I mean, I know we've spoken about sort of putting some EM stuff up as well. So obviously we'll do that going forward. But I was like, let's get that shirt out there. And so many people going like, oh, what's that kit? I've never seen that. And it's like
it sparks conversations,
away
doesn't it?
going,
yeah.
Oh, it's for charity. It's like, it's suicide prevention. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's awesome. Like really cool. I'm like, yeah, that's staying there all season. That hangs in my stream. And again, not to say it legitimizes my views and go, oh yeah, Tony, he sort of practices what he preaches, but for me it is it's a very visual representation of coming in the stream, come in the stream, I've got a shirt up that's promoting this cause and this charity. We're a safe space. Like we are a safe space. We're not got shirts that are going to cause rivalry battles and that sort. I'm not doing any of that thing. It's like, come in and we're all going to have a nice time and we're going to be kind, and it's and that's been fantastic.
Absolutely. I think what's helped me as well is it can be quite daunting, because I've had streamers like message me and go, they're in the streams and they're saying, they promote mental health, which is amazing, and someone reaches out, and sometimes when someone reaches out, it can be quite dark. It can be really overwhelming, depending on how they interact with you and what they say, and I've spent nights, without going into too much detail, I've spent hours in Discord calls with people, who have been in absolute crisis. And I've had fellow streamers go, look, I've said in my stream, if anyone's struggling, DM me, and they have, and I don't know what to do. And again, I want to be able to offer that advice and support to the community and to fellow streamers, in that if someone does reach out to you and you don't know what to do, or you are overwhelmed, just get in touch with me, and I'll be, if I'm around, I'll jump in the call straight away. And that's how passionate I am about helping this community and supporting this community. And I couldn't do it without the team that I've got around me as well. And I'm in a position now where I can offer them free mental health first aid training, which will help them to recognise the signs a lot better, give them a lot more understanding around different symptoms, different conditions, because they're helping me and my community. They're welcoming people in to my Discord, to my community. The mods and admin team that I've got, an amazing team who've supported me from day one and are still there now. I couldn't do it without them, because it does become overwhelming sometimes, because I can come home from work and I can open Twitter and I've got 30 DMs. I can open Discord and I've got 20 DMs. I'm like, right, how do I prioritize this? How do I be the judge of who needs support? And it's like that in my everyday job anyway, and it's tough, which is why one of the main reasons I utilize the ticket system, especially for those people who are in the Discord and who have got access to that. And again, it's not being restrictive, because again, people, if they want to message me on Twitter, please do. If that's the only way you feel you can reach out, use any way, any form of communication that you can to reach out to me, because I'll answer any, whether it's an inbox, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Whispers, whatever it is. I'll get it and I'll reach out to you. Because sometimes it's not about reaching in, and this is something that I do quite often with a lot of people that I've met in this community when I see them going a bit quiet. And it's something that, I'd love to start promoting a little bit more of, as well as reaching in, as well, because sometimes people need you to reach into them to go, all right, how's things? And then you've got, someone does care. I'm not on my own. I haven't been around.
Yeah.
I haven't been around for 2 weeks. No one's bothered. So then things start playing out in your own mind, and you think, do people even care about me? No one's missing me. But I just think if we just check in a little bit more with each other as well, it's nice to be nice. It takes 2 seconds, doesn't it, to just say to someone, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Rather than, just kind of casting them aside or pushing them away.
Yeah, and it's just little words as well, isn't it? Like such a small sentence makes a huge thing. Like I've said time and time again, and again, Rich will back me up on this, I'm sure. What I've found throughout this last 2 years with this community, with Twitch, with Discord, is that everyone that's in there now, particularly my mods, right? I never met these people.
Yeah.
before the pandemic. I never met them. I didn't know Rich before the pandemic. Like, you know, obviously I knew Matt, of course I did, but everyone else, not a Scooby, right? And now we talk every single day, whether it's via text or a Discord message or a phone call or whatever, just constantly in each other's pockets, like multiple WhatsApp groups now going on. And I think that's fantastic to find people. And like one of our mods is from Denmark who got in touch, like initially going, so you want to do some Football Manager therapy live shows? I can recommend some venues in Denmark. And I was like, right, you're on our level straight away. Like, and I just think it's amazing that we've now got that sort of pool of people where you can trust and go like, you all right? Like, I've not heard from you for a couple of days. Like, you okay? Like, and that's sort of where we are. And Rich, I mean, you must sort of like, I'm going to put words in your mouth. Sorry, like, I almost put words in your mouth. But like, is that sort of your experience as well, or have you had a different experience with all this?
Oh, no, identical. Like, it's the community, especially kind of the mods on Tony's channel, people in the Discord, like just such a wonderful group of like genuinely caring people who, as Tony says, like 2 years ago, we didn't know. You know, I was, you know, in terms of just horrible things happening to me. You know, I lost my dad last year, which was pretty terrible. I was in the middle of a Discord call, or at the start of a Discord call, with 3 of the lads from the community, like talking about, we was talking about the Creators Championship. I was in a call with JD and with Jebaru. When I got the phone call,
wow,
and I was like, they were the first people that knew. And then after that, just the outpouring of just support from these people who, to all intents and purposes, you know, I've never met. You know, these people that I don't know, but the just outpouring of support and just messages and just contact from people from within the community was just incredible, absolutely incredible. And I think that just speaks volumes about how invested everybody is in everybody else's well-being. It's fantastic, and I can't speak highly enough of it. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful in that respect.
It just shows, doesn't it, as well, how genuinely these people care. You know, like you say, there's a lot of people in this community that I've never met, and we had a meetup in Birmingham last year. A few of us met, and it was amazing to finally meet these people who have been in my ear, helping me, supporting me, and you know, it was amazing. You know, like you say, we've got people in the admin and mod team from Denmark, America, you know, Scotland. You know, we've just all over the world. We've got people in the Discord. You know, and just for them to feel part of something is exactly what I wanted to create. And you know, it was never coming into this Twitch world to kind of go, I want to be a full-time streamer, I want to do this, I want to do that. My main priority, when I seen how many people were reaching out when I was behind the camera, was if I can get a face to this charity and people can relate to me, people can see that I'm just a normal guy. I've got 4 kids, I'm married, you know, I work full-time, I stream for fun, but I do it because I want to help people. You know, I do it because I want people to feel part of something. I want to empower people to build that confidence, to reach out and get support and get educated and break the stigma, especially with mental health, and especially in men as well. You know, I made sure that, you know, within my Discord as well, we've got a couple of female admins as well, which really helps the balance of the Discord. You know, and it really helps, you know, different understandings within different situations that we find ourselves in as a community and as an admin and mod team, you know. And like you say, you know, we're in each other's pockets day in, day out. We're talking every single day. And this is, you know, relationships that I've built over the past 3 years that I've made friends for life. Like, I really have. And even though I sit here and go, I want to do this and I want to give this to the community, I've taken so much from it as well, from me personally. I really have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm exactly the same for you, Leemo. Like, this has filled me up. I think, like, you know, for everything that we give out, I think we certainly get a whole lot back as well.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know, it's certainly not a one-way street, and like, obviously we appreciate everyone who drops in and reaches out and sort of, just a little bit of support, just to sort of be like that little first time chatter, just like, hey, I'm new, like, oh man, like that's awesome, like, because it's just like, all right, good, we're part of your little night tonight, this is going to be great. And that's just the bit, it puts a smile on your face, or like you get like whenever we read, like I always love like reading to yourself, because like we stream around about the same time in the evening, don't we? So it's we're on the sort of the graveyard shift, I suppose, really. And like
kids gone to bed, like now it's that time.
I remember the first time that we'd raided over to you, because we'd first got to know each other obviously with the Creators Championships.
Yes.
Like, way back in the day, way back in the day, like about 2 years ago, and then like we first thought, right, we'll raid over Leemo, and you were full on Leemo land. And I got a couple of messages from my chat going, what have you done? Like, where are we? I was just like, don't worry.
I get that often, like, what's this? And I've had some big raids as well, and there's me, like, switch to a raid screen, Jenny Cinnamon's on the background, I've got this wig on, sunglasses, and if people smile just for the raid, then boom, you've put a smile on someone's face, and they can go to bed and think, you know what, I've just witnessed something absolutely bonkers. Like a Football Manager streamer with a raid, like, because I don't know, I think I'm the only person with an actual raid theme, you know what I mean? It's like, boom, let's just do it, and it's stuck. And next minute we had Leemo lands, we had Tesco bags, we got emotes, and it just took off, and now it's kind of it's the theme now.
It's all about making it vibe, isn't it, man? It's like the last thing. It's like literally, exactly what you get the second you turn up, and that's great, man. That's really great. And I think as well, it's testament to yourself that whenever your name turns up in a chat, like, that there's enough people in there who are like, oh, hey, Leemo's here, yay! Like, and like, Rich gets the same, and I get the same. Like, if you're in someone's chat, and it's not just the other creators who sort of go like, oh yeah, Leemo's here. It's when you see your viewers going, Leemo, it's like, and I'm like, yes, that's what it's all about. Like, because now we've totally built something, and it's
absolutely,
and and it makes it all worthwhile. I mean, I suppose really, like, Mental Health Awareness Week, I guess.
Yeah.
Could you offer, like, what would be the sort of the easiest advice you give people if anyone is struggling, either at this point or have struggled in the past, or signs to look out for? Like, obviously we're putting this up, not just a podcast, but it's going to go up on YouTube as well. So of course we'll put all the links to Evolving Mindset, and any sort of like little bits of sort of advice that you feel as though you can give, or places to contact. But is there something that we can do in our own homes, or sort of signs we can look out for from ourselves, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things we advocate in our sessions, if you like, the 6-week program is think of, the balance between mental health and physical health. We've all got a physical health first aid kit at home, so we know if we cut our finger, we go to the first aid kit and we put a plaster on it, or if you've got a headache, we go to the first aid kit and we take a paracetamol. The mental health first aid kit is something that we promote very much in everyone having a mental health first aid kit. So it could be things, if you're feeling a little bit low, it's things in your mental health first aid kit that make you feel a little bit happier. So it could be photographs, it could be music, it could be a particular game, a particular TV show. There's different tools and different strategies that you can have within that. There's breathing exercises which you can do. There's mindfulness, but there's different websites which you can go on, and obviously, you can join our sessions at Evolving Mindset, which again are free, of course. There's a lot of tips and hints on how to cope with anxiety, with stress. I think the biggest thing as well is recognizing, and identifying what that stress is and what that anxiety is. And I find a lot of people respond a lot better to visuals. So, writing things down is key. Maybe making a journal of the particular day you've had, pinpointing when you've started to feel the way you feel, and definitely reach out and talk. It's so important to not bottle things up and really, focus on what's important to you. Focus on the things that you have control over. A lot of us get stressed and anxious about what's going on in the world, what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on, in the neighbour's house, what's happening, locally. But we can have those concerns, that's fine. But what we need to do is focus our thoughts really and our energy on those things that we've got control over. So some of the advice is, especially around social media and the news, is if that's stressing you out or that's causing you any sort of distress, what you've got control of is switch the news off. Don't go on social media, have a break. There's things that you can do to make yourself feel better that you're in control of. And sometimes we forget that we've got that power, because what we don't want to do is allow that mental health concern to become our identity then, because we find it a lot easier then to hide behind that identity of being anxious, of being stressed, when we are still in absolute control. And, there's very different situations that we can all find ourselves in, but it's how we react to that situation. That's what's key. As we can all react very differently psychologically to the same situation. We were all in the same situation with the pandemic, but we all reacted psychologically very, very different. So it's about recognizing your limits as well, when it does come to what tools and strategies you do want to use. But like I said, anyone can join the sessions. It's a 6-week program. The first session started on Wednesday the 11th, so that'll run for 6 weeks, and then the next program will start and it'll roll just after that. I'm restarting the streams this week, with it being Mental Health Awareness Week, so I'll start the process on Twitch as well. So my sessions on Twitch will be an hour long, so they'll be more direct and more sort of, here's the strategies. If this is how you're feeling, we'll talk about signs and symptoms of stress, signs and symptoms of anxiety, and some strategies that you can use. Some clinical sort of evidence-based strategies as well that we know work with people, because sometimes not everything works for everyone, so it's about finding what's key as well is what's finding what works for you. That there isn't a blanket approach to support. There isn't a blanket approach to how you can help someone. Everyone's individual, everyone's different. So it's about finding what's right for you. That's what's key as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what, it all sounds fantastic. And like I say, we would say, of course, thank you for everything that you're doing, for the community and the wider community. Rich, any sort of final thoughts from yourself?
I just think it's just important to reiterate that the work that you're doing, Leemo, is quite incredible. Really, like it's to be able to offer that service on that scale to that many people for free is absolutely spectacular. I don't think there's anybody that even comes close in that respect in the wider FM community, whatever it may be. I think as we talked here, a lot of people are very invested in other people's well-being, but to be able to offer the level of support that you can is just so ridiculously commendable, man. So just
thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, man. Thank you for everything. It's like there aren't enough of yous in the world. Let's put it that way. We need more Leemos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
Absolutely.
We're getting there.
Absolutely. But yeah, and as Rich says, thank you, of course, first of all for being part of the podcast. Like, we're not going to plug ourselves at all because it doesn't seem right to do so. We're going to give you the chance to do that. So plug yourself, plug Evolving Mindset, plug anything that you need to do. And then, of course, all the links will be in the description below. So Leemo, feel free, plug Twitter, Facebook, website addresses.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, Evolving Mindset's the priority. So you can find our website, which is our www.evolvingmindset.co.uk. Within that, you will find all our links to everything that we do in regards to how we support the local community, the online community, how we support different companies, how we support schools, young children as well. We've invested so much in trying to create a unique, bespoke support package across a very diverse community, and we want to kind of empower as many people and upskill as many people as we possibly can to break that stigma. All our links are on the website. We're also on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're on Facebook. So you can find us on there. Also myself, I do stream on Twitch, mainly Football Manager, but I do stream some of the mental health streams as well. So you can find me there. It's Leemo57. And I also have the mental health section within my Discord. So if anyone does want to reach out and wants to open a private confidential ticket, that option's there. That's not restrictive, so if, you can kind of still reach out in the open forum that we have, and that's active pretty much on a daily basis. And we have our little Leemo bot that pops in the evolving mindset links as well each and every day. So to make sure that message is getting out there, that people understand that it is okay not to be okay, and it's just to remember that your mind matters and mental health matters, and you've got to be a bit more selfish when it comes to your mental health and prioritize yourself as number one, because you're the important one, and it's important that you keep yourself safe and you keep yourself well, and hopefully there's a platform within this community now that you can reach out to, and I hope that's evolving mindset.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you're right. I think during the pandemic, particularly, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, how are you?" "Oh, I'm all right." People have got it worse, but I think that's the natural way, isn't it, to brush it off and go, "Someone has it worse than I do," but that still doesn't justify how you feel. Like, exactly. You still have to feel how you feel, and you have to if you feel low, then obviously reach out and obviously get some help. So Rich, thank you of course as always for being part of it. Leemo, thank you, like an amazing conversation, genuinely, like, and we'll get you back on again, and we'll talk some Football Manager and some Everton next time. But, I thought you obviously had to be in to have a fantastic conversation about a really, really important thing that's both within the world and of course our Football Manager community. So thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you will see you all very, very soon on another episode of Football Manager Therapy. Stay safe, everyone. We'll speak to you soon.